This podcast features adults using adult language, so listener discretion is advised. The Legend of Zelda is property of Nintendo, while Dungeons & Dragons is property of Wizards of the Coast. We are sponsored by neither, and this is a homebrew game played for fun by folks who are fans of both. But now, without further ado, let us continue tales of danger, determination and adventure in Hyrule Chronicles. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 15 of Hyrule Chronicles. I am the GM ArticulateT, and with me I have Alvarance playing Hikan.
Bear Dad is best, Dad, fight me.
I have Renji Vox being played by TheNetherlad.
I don't need no dad.
I have Robo Pirate playing Ziden Shari.
I'm there.
And finally being played by Keastreth, I have Max.
I can't down now.
As you probably may be aware, we are lacking a Sho Daius played by SteveTheSeregios tonight because he is in Canada land having fun and a social life over there. So we're going to have to kind of make do without him for a bit. He should be back for the next one. I think he comes back to our side of the pond by that point, but for now, we will have to make do. So, without our lead recap person on hand, who would like to go over what happened last time?
I'll just do that. Last time on Hyrule Chronicles, we set out from Hyrule Castle following the request of Mara and from the library to get some Frost Lake apples. Finding them at the You Are Here place that I do not know the name of. Is there a specific name of the swamp?
It's just a random bog.
Is it? Finding them in a swamp, it is a swamp.
Yeah.
Or a bog.
A quagmire, a bog, and other fitting synonyms.
Indeed. We would quickly be able to get the apples were it not for a bubbling mast that my character, Renji, decided would be an adequate target for using his new Eldritch heavy crossbow.
Yep.
So a fight ensued with the Hinox, and we killed him, and that was it, and no one was mad.
No,
Everyone was mad. Especially Tyrina.
Especially Tyrina, who did not trip me and made me go fall face first into mud.
Yes.
Which I will, of course, forgive her for it, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Of course.
Why would you forgive her for a thing that didn't happen?
Indeed.
Speaking of Tyrina, since we're trying to do a recap of a lot of the other stuff, she can now see in the dark because Hikan decided to give Usain Bolt a run for his money.
Oh dear. Yep. Oh man. And
Also,
Drunk
Max
boy's
can now,
becoming an alchemist.
sleep less,
Yeah, that was like 3 sessions ago.
yeah.
but also important.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. So with
Everyone
that-
is now well, except for Tyrina and her
Everyone
sleep
is either
schedule.
Sheikah or Sheikah adjacent.
Yes, exactly. Honorary Sheikah.
You've still cut down your maximum rest time by about 2 hours, which is good.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But yeah. Okay. So you find yourselves heading out of the bog, or at least heading away from the bog. My assumption is that you're heading eastward rather than straight back to Castletown in order to find this thing on the southern road.
The pet man.
The pet man. Indeed.
Or woman or other.
I'm the pet man. No, never mind.
So my assumption is that it was around about midday when you slew the Hinox and took all of his apples from his precious tree, and you make your way...
And parts of his body.
You make your way westward, and by the time the sun begins to dip over the horizon, you get around about this close to the southern road. And it's... While you're quite close to the road itself, it is still getting dark. Did you want to rest now, or did you want to continue on to the road before resting, or forego rest entirely?
I assume through all that picking, you're asking if we want to rest?
Oh, I was pinging, was I? Sorry.
Yes.
Did you want to rest? Yes.
At least a short rest, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can find a decent spot to camp up, probably, if we can take our time if it's only just starting to get late.
Yeah, you could. There's still some decent light out, so you're capable of taking 10 on your roll, or in your normal survival rolls, and you find yourself in a fairly advantageous spot. But yeah, how do you want to set up watches?
I'll be able to.
Probably 2 watches.
Mm-hmm.
4 and 4.
Yep.
We could even have some overlap if we want.
Since I'm a sorcerer, do I still need the full 8 hours of quote unquote rest, or does 4 hours count as my long rest now?
Essentially, what the ring you're wearing does, it gives you the benefits of a long rest over the course of 4 hours. So
So I just don't need the full 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
So we could do an overlap if you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess we can do that. I'll just take first watch.
I'll join you.
I'll be on second with Hikan then.
Yay!
Yay!
Okay, so watch buddies number 1, which would be Renji and Ziden. I suppose make your perception checks.
Of course. That is a 19 and a 19.
19 and 19, very nice. So as you kind of settle in, Tyrina decides to just go straight to bed, props the axe up against a tree, and kind of slumbers against it, while everyone else kind of heads off to bed. You have the night to yourselves for at least 4 hours.
Do we see anything of our 19s? Or should we...
You don't see anything immediately out of the ordinary, and apparently Roll20's booted everybody.
Oh,
Well,
intriguing.
I'm there, but
Just-
refresh.
Yeah.
yes, we're all sort of not there.
Yeah. That was weird. I've never seen
Well, during the time that...
I've never seen Roll20 do that before. That's really bizarre.
Oh, that is weird.
we could just
I'm
say
now
we'll
here
try to
only
do
with Keastreth.
Individual things. You
Yeah,
it
I've-
could be,
I've refreshed the thing.
there's more people coming in.
Oh, there we go.
Right.
I'm back.
You're back.
It's
Ah,
getting there.
It's
It's
There.
it's going on.
there we go.
It's there.
There we go. And now, because oh wow, that's loud. Now that I've refreshed the thing, all the couch sheets I had open have now closed.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Yep, that is what happens. With Renji and Ziden taking first watch,
Yeah.
I just want to I get up from my my watch place, and I sit a little bit closer to Ziden, just so we're in earshot of each other and not bothering the rest. Ziden, just a quick question.
Mm.
You travel around, right? As a Sheikah?
Now and then.
I've grown up in Castletown, and it was impressed upon me that all Sheikah have this destiny to, well, to serve the royal family. And I wonder, with someone like you who travels around, and so is a Sheikah, I just wondered how you felt about that.
I will answer your question if you are willing to answer one of mine.
That depends on the question.
I'll ask it first then. What sort of deal have you made? I'm gonna slowly kind of gazes at Renji with aged experience, knowing something, not quite what's going on, but knowing, kind of giving the impression he has some idea of what Renji's done.
Okay. Yeah, it's obvious that I'm taken aback just a bit. I'm... I made a choice to hopefully change my destiny. I want to do more than just serve at the pleasure of the royal family. I don't begrudge them anything, it's just I want to do stuff with my life.
You want your own life, not theirs.
Yeah. And I quickly glance at Sho to see if he's hearing anything.
He's doing his typical. He's kind of like doing the sort of samurai, sort of back against something. Sedge hat tipped forward to cover his eyes. But considering Sheikah technically trance as opposed to sleep, he may well be hearing stuff, but you don't know. He hasn't given any indication as of yet.
Yeah, I'm trying
he's
to.
reading his book, trying to figure out
I'm
how to
trying
apply the
to
physical stuff.
trying to talk in such a way that he doesn't overhear.
Okay, make a stealth check, and I will roll a secret
All right,
perception
that's a
check.
21.
Okay. Right. Hold on a sec. Oh wait, no, that's I'm in the wrong window. I'm in the
Oh.
There we go. That's the window I want. I was wondering, why is my journal so empty? Oh, this is the camera's one. I see. Right, Sho. Let's have a look at his character sheet, shall we? Let it load. Roll a secret perception check. Okay. He hasn't moved. You're unsure as to what he rolled.
Okay.
Ziden, for his part, is not like he's only keeping his voice hushed enough to just not disturb people who are sleeping. He's not trying to be sneaky. So yes, so you'll say then that is one way to go about it. Seems a very, very risky way.
It's something that came along on my path.
I would say the idea of destiny is an unpleasant one.
Agreed.
Everyone would prefer to think they have the choice to make their path. but in reality, very few do. But I believe if, like you're willing to take a risk or give up something, you can gain something else instead.
That seems to be the case.
I do not approve of your choice, but I understand. I would caution, at some level, it will probably come against you.
Maybe. So far, the price that's been paid.
You may be me, young man.
In that case, perhaps.
Well,
So far, the price that's being exacted isn't too high.
with the types of beings I assume you're dealing with, the price you think you're paying isn't the price you're paying.
So far, I have no indication of that.
So, who are you then? I do not know much of you.
Well, you must have heard of my father, Nihilus Vox. He's well known in the Sheikah circles.
Oh,
One
yes,
of the masters, of course.
of course.
Beyond that, I'm not sure what else there is to it to me.
If all there is to you is your father, I can see why you chose to open that door.
At that, Renji just looks out into the distance. Continue his watch.
Okay.
Ziden will also look contemplatively into the distance.
Oh dear. But yeah, you all seem to kind of find yourself in a, the two of you continue your watch as you discuss, and after you've finished discussing, and you look out into the wide open distance. There aren't many trees in this area. You can see the rolling hills before you and in all directions. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. There's the flutter of wings and the flutter of wings and the chirping of birds, squeaking of bats. But nothing seems overtly threatening or dangerous. And soon your allotted time to watch is up. And I guess you turn and wake up the other two for their turns.
Yep.
We might as well.
Yep. And then I guess we'll take our own positions to trance.
Okay.
And just before that, I make 50 good berries.
Just food. Nightly ritual food. There we go.
Indeed.
Berry storm, go!
Oh dear. But yeah, you guys settle in, and
Boys have to give one to Max to make sure my son is well fed.
Yes, incredibly well fed on the single berry. And that's not even sarcastic.
How many of those apples did we get again?
A dozen or so, I think.
You got about 15.
We got about 15.
Hikan kind of counts everyone that's there. Can I get 4, please?
Did Nara say how many she needed?
I mean, it's gonna be mixed with stuff, but I figured having, like, something small to drink with the good berries other than water would be nice. And I was planning on making a weak apple ale.
Technically, she only asked for 1.
Yeah, so I don't see why not.
Perhaps we'll keep at least half for Mara. So we'll have 15. She'll get 8. We have 7 left.
Okay.
Could I get a few of them to make some drink for the party with, please? He asks very nicely to Renji since they're in the bag of holding.
Before he does that, I'd just do a nature check to be sure that they're safe for consumption in that way.
Yeah, sure.
I'll hand one over to Ziden.
Ooh, we got a 14.
A 14.
Ooh.
You know
Oh wait, I
that...
could guidance this.
Sure, go for it.
A 16.
Okay, so with the 16, you know that you know that eating the apples raw like any other apple, it's not that bad of a thing. It's like it tastes bitter as a regular apple, and it's a bit chewy because of how the snowflake patterns are formed on the actual apple itself. But otherwise it's not poisonous, and as mentioned in Mara's missive, when used, it's mainly for like a very basic kind of painkiller sort of remedy. So it's definitely safe, but you don't know how good it'll taste compared to a regular apple.
Okay, I'll let them know it's not poison.
Okay.
And then go to bed.
Okay.
Snoo, snoo.
So, for the 2 new people on watch, if you'd like to give me your perception checks.
That's a natural 1.
I can't.
I really want to make that ale.
Yeah, you're so consumed in looking over these apples and looking over the equipment that you have in your brewer's kit that you're just kind of... It's... All of your attention is focused on this one task right now. Max, as you look over the dark... look out into the dark wilderness, you don't see anything immediately out of the ordinary. You just recount that how it's just a regular boring old night. Nothing seems amiss.
You're pinging again.
Am I?
Right now.
I hate my copper wire internet.
I missed the last couple of seconds of what you were saying.
Okay, so basically it just looks like it doesn't look anything out of the ordinary, nothing dangerous. It just looks like a regular night.
Right. Okay.
Did you get any of that?
It's regular night.
Yeah.
Max is just gonna keep on watch, but occasionally glance over at what Hikan's doing to make sure he doesn't burn the countdown or something.
I would say that, excuse you, I'm very proficient in this, but I'm just as proficient as this as I am in perception, so...
Everyone is vulnerable to a bad roll.
Yeah. Okay.
Plus, Max has no idea what you're doing, so...
So what do I roll for apple ale?
Do a brew. I say with your brews that you would usually have for like your drunken monk stuff. That would be a wisdom, but I'm wondering if this would actually be an intelligence because it's just a regular drink. I mean, it'd still be brewer's kit, so you'd be proficient in it.
Yeah, so it would just be a straight D20 roll, because they would cancel each other out, proficiency and intelligence.
Okay.
A 15.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Over the course of your watch, you managed to concoct at least two drinks worth of this Frost Flake apple ale. And you kind of hold it up. It has this kind of, like, it looks like apple juice, but it has a kind of murky quality to it.
So I pour some in my mess kit's cup, and since there's only two, I will go ahead and drink one myself first, and then offer the second to Max.
Okay. You drink the first, and there's kind of like this that feeling where you kind of have to rub your tongue against the roof of your mouth as you kind of just take in the drink. It's not bad. It's a pretty okay taste, but you feel like the ingredient was meant for other things. And it has that kind of weird sediment sort of texture to it that you have in like some beers like Blue Moon or something like that. It's just but otherwise it's not too terrible.
It wasn't as sweet or as good as I thought it was, but everyone has different tastes if you want to try it.
No, I really don't think alcohol's for me.
That's fair. And then I'll just go ahead and drink the second drink since everyone else is asleep.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, you you down the rest of it. It tastes a little bit better on the second go. Now that you're used to it, but it's and as you kind of sit and contemplate it, and Max continues to look out over the darkness, you can see the sun begin to rise again, and everybody wakes up on this new dawn. Tyrina stretches, stands up, picks her axe up. There's a anything interesting happened last night?
No.
Hikan made himself some drink.
Oh.
Not laced with poison in an attempt to make me immune to it, I promise.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody heard him maniacally laugh yesterday morning.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if Max knew about the poison part.
Yeah, no, I think it was just Sho, Renji, and Tyrina that knew about it.
Yeah. Oh dear. But yeah. So you guys get ready. You pack up all your stuff. Camp is taken care of in relatively short order, and you continue marching onwards, heading to the road. And you do find it eventually. This nice wide open road, dirt road, no cobblestones just yet. Too far away from Hyrule Castle Town for cobblestones. And looking up and down the road, I'd like you guys to make perception checks for me, please.
I am rolling crap today.
Oh.
Only on perception, really. You're just far too drunk.
On two-sided.
You'd think I have built up a tolerance by now.
I know, right?
Hikan, Ziden, Max, Renji?
Almost.
Almost? There
22.
we go. Wow, you get that.
That's nice.
Just waking up from the trance, just eyes wide.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here like, so how could I make that sweeter?
You do manage to find something out of the ordinary, all three of you, and you don't remember it being here on the walk up the road, and the drive down the road on the way to the Echo of Hylia. You find a small shack just off the road, this kind of ramshackle looking place, and there are several signs dotting the side of the road, which these little things said Flaamgos, and then there's a arrow pointing in that direction towards this shack.
Well,
There are no windows, but it seems rather small.
Okay, before we go in, I shall ritual cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Okay. And now we can head in.
Ziden, we don't like Mr. Rickshaw, right? He's an
No.
asshole.
That sounds right.
So, what kind of animal should we get him since we don't like him? Not a
One
cat
that
or a
poops
dog.
a lot.
Maybe we should, see what's there first.
Well, I was thinking I would talk with him and see which would have the best personality to match with his personality.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's interview the animals.
So.
How'd you like a job?
So, so you go over, you see the door. It's barely on its hinges from what you can see. Are you just going to open it, or are you going to knock on it, or anything else you want to do before you head in?
Look around the area, I guess, see if there's anything else of interest. Or...
Yeah, make a. I'd say if you're having a glance perception, if you're doing a proper detailed look and lifting up rocks and stuff, make investigation checks.
What check?
Investigation. Did
What
I
should
ping again?
A little bit.
Okay, so yeah,
I have 4 more perception, but it's more investigation that I feel like I would want to be doing.
Okay,
I'll do an investigation for 22.
nice. You look
Almost
around. The building itself seems remarkably small, like a 10-foot by 10-foot building, about 7 foot tall. One entrance. There's a couple of sparse rocks and stuff nearby. No wildlife from what you can see. Other than that, it just looks like an abandoned shack on the side of the road.
So I'm thinking it's either underground or magic door. Let's knock.
Okay. So you... And from inside there's a muffled, "Come in!"
Uh-oh. Yeah, I'll head in first.
Okay, so you open the door. And inside you see a brightly lit, much larger than what it appears from the outside room, with all these different shelves for products and everything like that. There's a counter on the west side of the room, and you can see behind a cage are a pair of bird-like creatures that are just tottering about on the floor.
You're
The cage...
pinging out.
Ah, my internet sucks. But, right, okay, so you go in, it's a brightly lit room. It's much larger than it appears to be from the inside than from the outside. It appears that there's loads of shelves with different products on them. There is there's a counter on the west side of the room, and behind that counter, against the wall, is an iron fence, which rises up around about 4 feet. And behind that fence are a pair of small bird-like creatures that are just tottering about and pecking at the floor. And as you enter in, you can see there's a sudden poof of smoke behind the counter, and standing before you is a resplendently dressed humanoid creature, but it has the head of a bird with a long, extended pink neck with pink feathers.
Again.
Damn it! Sorry about the technical difficulties on that one. I am a mad person, and yeah. So apparently OBS isn't playing nicely with Discord. So every time I open OBS, it causes me to ping out like crazy, which means that my players can't hear me, even though you guys will be able to hear me fine.
We kind of need to hear you so we can actually, play.
Play, yeah. So I guess on the stream side of things, no more stream tonight until I figure this out. On the podcast side of things, let's continue. So, I believe I got to the part where I was describing Flaamgo.
A humanoid with a face of a...
Okay, so a resplendently dressed thin humanoid with a long pink feathered neck and a black beak, and this pink feathered hat to go with it, and he just stands with his arms aside. Welcome, I am Flaamgo, and this is my storehouse. I believe you're looking for an animal.
Yes, hello, Flaamgo. I'm Ziden.
Excellent, and then poof, and he disappears, poof, and he appears behind Renji. Poof, in the same puff of smoke, and says, "It is great to meet you, all of you."
Max is just like twitching, he's looking around to find where he's gone, like, Jesus. Fuck.
In my
He
hand...
continues to hold out his hand to shake.
In my hand, there is a black, smoking dagger. Seriously?
Hikan is just in like a battle stance, like, what's going on now?
Yeah, so he just next to Ziden does a rather flourishing bow as he kind of does a whole kind of rolling hand thing, and then shakes your hand rather daintily, and says, "It's good to meet you. Good to meet you indeed." And you can all understand him perfectly, by the way. He's speaking in common, definitely.
To meet you as well.
I think this is another Hylian like Sebastian.
I think you're wrong.
You may make Arcana rolls to try and identify what this thing is.
I will
18.
try, but I'm
18.
8. Nope, that doesn't work.
Apparently me and Max found it once before.
Yeah, this is a wizrobe. They're an avian-like species of magic casters, and they're all very... Like, magic is as much part of their culture as anything. They can't fly using their arms, but they fly using other means.
Oh, thank you. Renji dispels his dagger and just... Do you generally treat your patrons that way?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with a bit of flourish, my friend.
Max is just wide-eyed staring.
There is flourish, and then there is provocation.
I would say it's very provocative. And he's behind the counter again.
Right. We are in search of an animal indeed. We want one that is unruly, hard to handle, probably stinks, produces a lot of feces. Anything in mind?
But basically, there's someone we don't like who wants a fancy animal.
And who's making us go get it? So something that doesn't look unruly and all the things he just said.
But technically is.
Yeah. Hikan still has his staff in both hands.
I see. And he's he kind of just snaps his fingers, and then on the table in front of him is like a book, and he kind of holds it up, and you see like the animal catalog on one cover, and he kind of looks through it.
Ziden is very interested now to see this book.
It says, "Unruly pets. I've never had that request before."
But
Let's see now. And he places this thing on the counter. And he says, "Give me a moment. I need to mull over my selection here to see if there's anything that would suit your needs." And he flicks through. And Tyrina, meanwhile, is look over and I'm just gonna find a wall and support said wall. It just goes over to a nearby wall and leans against it. Sho, will say, is busying himself looking through the products and mumbling to himself about how bizarre this individual is.
Max is putting his back to the wall, making sure he's A, not near any animals, and B, able to watch as much of the room as possible to see where that guy reappears.
Okay, so you can find a corner.
From the way I was cutting out for. So the front of the counter is all just like products, and behind the counter is the animals.
Behind the when I say animals, behind the counter there is like an iron fence that rises up about 4 feet, and behind there are a pair of bird-like creatures that are just kind of tottering around and pecking at the floor.
Okay, I'll go say hi to the birds.
Okay. You say hi to the birds. One of them looks up and just... And they just continue pecking at the floor. They don't seem
are they
upset.
cuckoos?
They do look chicken-like.
They don't respond to my language?
They do not respond to your language.
Oh my gosh. They're not animals. That's what they're super dumb? I think that's the options.
It's hard to tell.
Oh well. So, what are the items around the store then?
There's various different things like pet care products, bags of feed, all that kind of stuff. The usual stuff. Honestly, not much beyond what sort that you would expect for owning certain pets. Though if this guy is as exotic as he has pets of exotic nature as he says, then it's a bit of a thing. But as you're kind of mulling this over, the door, the entrance to the shop opens up again, and in walks in a fairly tall, athletically built Hylian male with long black hair tied up in a ponytail, and he's wearing these kind of white and red and gold vestments. Though they're not exactly long robe-like things, they're kind of cut short to be practical. And he has emblazoned on his chest the symbol of Din. And you recognize this, especially Renji, you recognize this as Larson Graves, one of the chaplains from back in Hyrule Castletown.
Right, we met him.
Yeah, everybody met him.
Yeah, everybody's met him. So he kind of enters in and looks over, looks up to you guys.
Larson.
Hi.
Greetings.
Wasn't expected to see you. Welcome to Flaamgo's.
She does that.
You don't
Hikan,
say.
still holding his staff, just points it over to Flaamgo, just trained on him.
Max is just straight up snarling now.
And how I will come to your aid as soon as I can, sir, but these fine individuals have come requesting a pet of a rather unique descriptor, and I need to make sure that I get them something remarkable. And, disappears. Right.
Right, indeed. We were sent here by Lord Rickshaw. May I ask to inquire about your being here?
Okay. He kind of glances over at Flaamgo slightly as he continues to peruse the book. And he's going to roll a stealth check as he says this. Rolls very well for a cleric. But he kind of leans in slightly and gestures you subtly in order to lean in closer. He says, I've been looking up more information on the Marcus Whitestone case. And I found a lead that says something might be up with this establishment. I mean, it came up out of nowhere, and there have been a couple of things linking the killer from before to possibly this place. So I've come here to investigate, but and he kind of looks at Flaamgo again and says, I wasn't expecting a whiz robe.
Yes, we didn't expect that either. Is this cause for concern, Larson?
Maybe, but we might need to just find a way to get a better look. And he looks around and he sees at the south, on the south wall, is a door. It's the only other door in this building, apart from the small, like, doggy door that kind of sits on the wall next to where the cuckoos are being kept. And he says, may need to ask him some questions if possible. And what I will do is, before I do anything else, is I just need to get this last bit of this map in particular ready, and then I will plonk you guys
we're getting
on
plonked.
it. You're getting plonked onto here.
Oh no.
There we go. So it should be in the top left corner of the map there. And it pretty much looks as much as I could have described it in regards to the establishment itself.
Does he have the book on his counter as he's perusing through it, or is he holding it up like he's I can't remember her name right now, but from the Diamond in the Rough?
Remain. She's so he's kind of just got it on the counter and is sort of like one hand leaning on the counter, the other one flipping through it as he mulls things over.
So Hikan, right, just looking like walks over to the counter and starts looking at the pretty pictures of the pretty animals and just starts asking questions.
Okay.
So
Very
just
cool.
going to stare at all of the pictures that he can see.
Yeah.
To learn more animal forms.
Yeah, there's snakes, there's insects, there's a bunch of stuff. Yeah. As you're asking questions, that he's answering as best he can. He's actually rather into it, just going over these questions as he goes for it. Larson is gonna maneuver himself over here and just idly peruse the things.
Max is adhered to the corner. As far away from that thing as possible.
Yeah. But yeah, Sho not being
Why
aware.
don't we get him a rope, Ziden? I mean, like the rope. It seems like a very what's the word that Renji used? Renji, what word did you use to describe the animals again?
Do you mean annoying?
Yeah, it seems like it could be annoying. It could bite him.
I
That's
think
fair.
something perhaps that makes a lot of noise, like early in the morning. That way, even if he has someone else dealing with it, he'll still have to hear it.
But why not late at night, you know, when like everyone's trying to sleep?
Both work.
Mr. Flaamgo, what would you find more annoying? Would you find being woken up by an animal in the daytime when you gotta get up and do your stuff, or in the middle of the night?
Well, I suppose I deal with animals every day, so it would have to be in the middle of the night if possible. And he just kind of begins to ramble slightly. There's a lot of energy in his movements as he does this. And I'm gonna have Larson roll a stealth check at a +0 to see if he can get through to the door.
Oh no.
That's a 15. What is Flaamgo's passive perception?
Not 15, please.
Come on, character sheet, load faster for me, please. It is not 15. So Larson kind of maneuvers around and then disappears through the door. There's a slight as he makes it through.
Since my passive perception is higher than 15,
Yeah.
I will just look over at Flaamgo and it's like, can I hold one of these cuckoos? Just for a moment?
He looks over at the birds, which are just kind of moving around, pecking. And he goes, I don't see why not. Be careful, though. They are rather energetic when you pick them up, you see.
I pick one of them up.
And the moment you do, and you kind of hold it, it begins to like... and just flap its wings, feathers going everywhere.
I feel this cuckoo in my hands trying to gain lift, and I jump.
Okay. Make it... let's see, what's your strength?
My strength is 11. Just a plus minus 0.
Okay. Let's see. I think it's like half of your strength is... like a quarter of your strength is a standing high jump. So that would be like...
I actually had the jump calculator somewhere because of how often I do it.
You hop about 3 foot into the air, and then you hold the bird above your head, and then you slowly drift back down. It's like you're under the effect of a featherfall spell.
Indeed.
Does the cuckoo actually say anything whilst it's spasming out?
No, it just seems to caw and scream and everything as a chicken would when in distress.
Yeah. I'll ask Flaamgo, may I look through your book?
I don't see why not. He swivels it around and puts it before you. And he kind of looks over. As he passes the book, he looks up and looks around.
Hikan grabs the cuckoo from Renji, jumps onto the counter, and then jumps off using Step of the Wind.
You kind of get as high as the ceiling is, so about up to 15 feet, and then begin to float back down. It's like, I wish you wouldn't jump on my desk. And because of that, he's going to make that roll, the roll he just made, with a disadvantage, since you distracted him. Okay. So he kind of looks around and says, where'd that other person go?
Which person?
The black-haired Hylian vestment person.
Step aside!
Make a deception check.
21.
Okay. See what his insight's like. He kind of looks over to you, and then there's a very comical narrowing of the eyes.
The guy having a panic attack in the corner.
Yes.
I summon a dagger in my hand behind my back, just in case.
Okay. Then I didn't hear the door go, and
It's quiet.
He's
I am told that I'm pretty loud, and I was asking a bunch of questions. I'm sorry, Mr. Flaamgo, and I start cleaning his desk from my foot.
Yes. And you see his shoulder slump say, very well. And he turns his attention back to Dr. Ziden and says, so you're an animal lover, I see.
I hand Renji back the cuckoo.
Ziden just says Druid whilst he's browsing the book.
Yeah.
I'm sticking to my original mission of finding an annoying pet.
So you kind of look over it. You see that there are a couple of marks in the book to say which pets are in stock and which aren't. It seems that he has a giant poisonous rope, a giant constricting rope, a giant scorpion, a Cargarok, and something scribbled hastily on the back of the on the last page, which his handwriting is terrible, so it's nearly illegible. But he also has cuckoos. He has plenty of cuckoos.
I should ask him, what is this one which is nearly illegible?
Oh, that's a new acquisition. I'm trying my best to try and identify the thing, but it's not incredibly sociable. I think that's the word. Yeah, sociable for an animal. It's not incredibly willing to be talked to.
Do you have the ability to speak with animals?
I do, but, well, it's not exactly... I don't think it's classified as an animal as it were. The Cargarok was the same. It just... and the cuckoos are almost the same as well. They just don't like to respond. I don't think they can respond. I think that might be not animals in the strictest sense. Maybe just things that look like animals but aren't. It's like a Dodongo. You know, Dodongos aren't strictly animals, I suppose. And he kind of begins to mutter to himself.
So out of character, that means that cuckoos are either monsters or eldritch monstrosities.
I'm willing to go with the latter.
Yeah.
See, now Ziden wants to ask to go see the animals, but he also did see the guy go in there because he has high passive perception. He's like, if he asks that, then almost certainly going to find the guy doing something.
Investigating.
What to do?
I
will ask Flaamgo. What can he tell us about this unknown one? Maybe we could help him identify it.
Oh, well, it's got hooves. It's big. It has horns. And you kind of says, very fuzzy, but that's about it.
Can we guess from that anything that it could be?
Make nature checks.
Only 13.
I'm so glad I have no idea.
Nope.
9.
9.
Doesn't sound familiar in the slightest.
Is it?
As you kind of mull this one over, I want everybody to make perception checks, and I'll do so for Flaamgo as well.
Okay, then.
9.
21.
That's a 17.
Okay. Okay, so Renji and Hikan, both of you hear there's a thum from the back room, and Flaamgo hears this as well because he rolled a natural 20.
Never mind then.
He kind of just like his head snaps in the direction of the room and goes, "Excuse me," and just disappears.
Bye.
I don't think that's a good thing.
Shall we go follow that?
I believe
Shikan's
we
at the
should
door.
do that.
Come on, Max.
God damn it.
Tyrina?
Sure,
Yep.
keep an eye out in case someone else comes in.
Very well, he says as he kind of draws the blade and positions himself in an appropriate area.
I open the door slowly.
Okay, you open the door slowly. I'm just going to go ahead and... because I think in order to compensate for the possibility that dynamic lighting wasn't working, I enabled a fog of war, so I'm going to turn off the fog of war. Let me know if anything seems out of place.
Okay. We can see the bottom left.
The bottom left, down here.
The bottom left 4x3.
Okay. That's interesting.
I cannot.
It's like a suit of armor and a desk, and it by the looks of the.
Okay, if I step in, I can see most things.
Yeah.
But actually, outside the door, I cannot.
Okay. Because this has happened before. This is a thing that's happened with. In fact, I'm also going to close down the Roll20 where the camera was, because we're not live streaming anymore. So why would I? Okay, so you guys have shuffled on in. But yeah, so there we go. So I've refreshed it, so hopefully it's dynamic lighting is working a bit better now. But if not, then oh well. There's not much in that room anyway. But yeah, so as you enter in, and I'm going to get rid of the door as well while I'm there. Boom. There we go. Sweet. So as you enter in, you see this immense sort of room of shelves and massive boxes. And as you look around, you can see kind of hugging against one of the bookcases, trying his best to keep out of sight, is Larson. And above the bookcases is Flaamgo, and he's currently hovering in the air, free form, about 20 feet from the ground. And he looks around, and he does his best to see if he can spot Larson. And doesn't roll well enough, so he just kind of... I have my suspicions! And he removes from his robe a small silver bell. And he... Ding, 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 ding. And as he does that, the suits
I'm
of
gonna try
armor...
to stealth as soon as he rings the bell.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, I'll join you in that.
10.
And 23.
So you can probably sneak off to the side.
12. Not very sneaky.
I'm too busy panicking to sneak.
Okay. So as you kind of as he rings the bell, the suits of armor in the room all immediately animate. They remove themselves from their pedestals and kind of jostle into life. And Flaamgo's about to raise his hand to give an order as he turns his head slightly, and he sees Max and Ziden and Hikan. And I should probably do one for Tyrina as well. Although it's doubtful she'll actually get the roll she needs. But give me a couple of minutes to
2 nat 20s, Tyrina, let's go.
So Tyrina's stealth gets a 22. Oh, 16, because she's in heavy armor, so it's disadvantage.
Boo.
Still second best of the group.
There we go. So while I get these character sheets organized, I'd like everybody to go ahead and roll initiative for me, please.
Well then. Let's do that.
God damn.
Wow.
14.
6, 6, and a 5. Ugh.
Max, it's up to you.
Okay, so NPCs, this guy. I think that's all I need at the moment because there aren't any. None of the animals are free. So we'll put Flaamgo on the initiative tracker. So Flaamgo rolls initiative. He gets a 21. Then Tyrina rolls initiative and gets a 10. Larson rolls initiative. It's a 5. Okay. Descending order. There we go. So Larson will go last because NPCs go after players.
He's
Larson.
He's damn it, man.
Pun damage!
I'm the dad. I'm allowed to do puns.
It still adds at least 1 to the counter. We'll dispense at the end of the session for the last person to do a pun. We're Tower of Babeling this.
Okay then.
Okay, let's see. I need appropriate battle music here. How does
The Wind Temple theme.
this'll do? Okay, so Flaamgo, as he's about to give the order, he turns around and sees you, all of you, and goes, "You! I knew it!" And he's going to start off combat by asking all of you. Let's see. Where's the thing here? So he'll center it on this area here. So it goes.
Does he see me though?
He doesn't see you, but it's a area of effect.
Yeah, but why would he put it there then?
That's a good point.
He's just centrally.
He's going to put it centrally. He's going to aim it on this bit of armor here. There we go, and he's too high up to be affected by it. So I'd like everybody in that area to make a wisdom saving throw.
Come on,
Oh
plus
boy.
7.
14.
17.
Okay, and I need to do it for Tyrina.
Oh no.
She's a paladin, it's fine. Intelligence is her dump stat.
I can actually.
High five.
14. Okay. So, both Hikan and Tyrina fail.
Frick.
And it is... So, you find yourself subject to a spell by which... so both Hikan and Tyrina, both of you seem to... An aspect of your mind just kind of goes numb, and everything around you seems bizarre. You lack control over your physical capabilities. So at the start of your turn, I'd like you to roll me a d10. But it's not there just yet. But what Flaamgo is going to do, he's going to fly over to here. And he's going to remain 20 feet in the air, and then it would be Max's go.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I need to roll for the constructs. I'll have him go
these
last.
things are turning to look at us now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Spend 1 sorcery point.
I'm going to add these last in the initiative order. It only makes sense.
And with lightning crackling around both his hands, he's going to strike out one at each of the suits of armor with Shock and Grasp.
Okay.
The first one against one between him and Tyrina,
Okay.
so that's got flanking, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Sadly,
the second one against the other one is 16.
Okay. Sadly, neither of them hit.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
Reading the spell, does it count if they're wearing armor, since they are suits of armor?
Yeah?
If they're wearing metal. It's made of metal.
Oh, you have advantage on attack rolls. Okay, so the second one hits its target.
Yes.
4 damage. Yeah. Bam. It's a clatter and... or as much as an animated construct of metal can. Okay, is that it for your turn?
I can't move without getting opportunity attacks.
Okay.
Might try anyway, though.
Okay.
Just to, like, get out around here.
Well, you'd only take one.
Yeah. Come around this side.
So he's gonna try and swing at you. But an 11 doesn't hit.
No, it is not.
No.
I'm safe.
Okay. Alright. On Tyrina's go, she's going to roll a d10. and gets a 7. Tell me, spell, what does a 7 do? Nine to 10. The creature can act and move normally at the end of each of its turns. Okay, so Tyrina, while confused, is capable of actually doing stuff. So she's going to draw her action. She's going to see if she can clobber the guy next to her.
Look out, Hikan!
But a 15 does not hit, sadly, and it glances off the armor, and she snarls as the spell continues to take effect. And at the end of her turn, she's going to make another wisdom save to see if she can shake off this thing. And she does. She is no longer confused. Hikan, roll a d10 for me, please. Oop. Hold on. I'll cycle back around to Hikan.
I'll take that 10.
A 10? Okay, so you can act normally on your turn.
Okay, what do I want to do? I'm confused. So does, like you said that I can act normally. Can I form sentences?
Yes. As described, the creature can act and move normally. So you're capable of comprehending stuff around you. There's still a bit of a confusing haze. Like, contextually, Renji, what you saw from outside the 10-foot sphere of influence is you saw a blast of smoke, and then as the smoke parted, it formed these question marks in the smoke before just dissipating entirely.
How curious.
Yes.
Alrighty, so I'm going to use Step of the Wind to disengage from the suit of armor.
Yep.
Actually, no, I'm just going to use a regular disengage action. I'm going to save the key point.
Okay.
And go up to Mr. Flaamgo.
Yeah, he is still 20 feet
I'm
in
not
there.
planning on attacking him. It's
Okay.
like, I'm sure this is a misunderstanding. Let's just calm down, please. And then make a wisdom saving throw. Or after that, because that was going to be my turn, so...
Yeah.
A 9. Nope, I am still confused.
You are still confused.
Is that a persuasion attempt or not?
I'd say make a persuasion attempt. Sure.
A 14.
Okay. As he looks down, you can see the glare in his flamingo eyes. It's just... I am not convinced! Especially since now that he's there, he can quite clearly see Larson. Ziden.
He counts as a person, right?
He counts as a humanoid, yes.
Yeah, I can use hold person.
Okay.
I will first probably move away from the constructs to avoid getting hit.
Okay. They've used their at least one of them has used their reaction, and the other one can't. So.
In which case, I can move 30. Guess I'll just go down to there. Oop.
Are you still able to see him behind the shelves, though?
Well, there's gaps in the shelves.
Okay.
Unless you're saying they are fully stacked
They're
together.
quite well stocked.
Yes, but there is one corner of his space that can
That's
see
true.
one corner of the Wizrobe's space.
That's true.
Okay.
Plus he's in the
He
sky.
leans through.
He leans through.
Okay, and yes, hold person.
Okay. I'm just going to roll something really quickly to see if he perceives it. That's a 17. So he catches your eye, catches you using the spell, and he swings an arm out widely and says, "No!" And he counterspells it.
Okay, that's just...
You see the magical energy midway just shatter like glass.
Can you, for the next time you're doing this, Articulate,
Yep.
can you, instead of saying no, say unacceptable?
Damn, I could have used that. Oh well.
It's an action, not a reaction.
It's weird for it to be an action as a Let me have a
Yeah,
look.
that
I
is
get what
true.
you mean, but it's...
I believe
I
Counterspell
think
is a
pretty much-
reaction.
Pretty much everything is listed as an action
Okay.
by default, so...
Is it just weird on Roll20?
Yeah, casting time, 1 reaction which you take when you see a creature within 60 feet of you casting a spell.
Okay,
Yep.
that's all. Roll20 is just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay then. No. I'll just do it again next turn. And bonus action... not going to turn into an animal for now. I feel like that could go wrong.
Okay. Are you going to use your bonus action for anything, or are you just going to...
I don't think
Well,
I can
then-
do anything else with it.
Okay. Alright then. Renji!
Renji is just going to run around the cases, shelves, and getting there. He's going to first place a curse on the Wizrobe that he
Okay.
sees. And then with his action, he's going to channel this eldritch shadow energy from the Twilight realm and shoot it out through his dagger towards the Wizrobe. Eldritch Blast!
Okay.
That's a 12.
That is sadly not enough to hit the Flaamgo.
That
He is...
figures.
He kind of... Hmm?
If you don't mind, I did find the one thing I can do with a bonus action, which is cast Shillelagh on my staff.
Ooh.
Okay, sure. You've casted Shillelagh. It's
Shillelagh.
now a magical stick.
Magic stick!
Yeah. So you fire your Eldritch Blast, he ducks in it, like, kind of bobs under it as it kind of sizzles against the back wall. Like, you intruders! And then Larson, on his turn, he's not going to enter any kind of melee combat because he doesn't have his plate mail on. He's going to cast... he's going to cast a spell on Hikan. So what he's going to do is he's going to run over to Hikan, place a hand on your shoulder, and mutter some words in Celestial, and he's going to cast Heroism on you. A willing creature you touch is imbued with bravery. Until the end of the turn, the creature is immune to being frightened against temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting ability modifier. He has a wisdom of +4, so you get +4 temporary hit points for the next minute at the beginning of your turn. The start of each of your turn. The spell ends, the target loses any remaining temporary hit points from the spell. So you have 4 temporary hit points. Woo!
And you're immune to fear.
Yes. Okay, and then after he's done, the armors begin to move. This one, how fast can they? 25 feet. Alright. This one's going to go right up to you. Moving, like... The armor seems to be kind of bobbing around as if it's sort of having trouble staying in a certain spot, but it's moving at a remarkable speed. And it runs over to you, Ziden, and it's going to raise both of its fists and strike at you twice. So I don't think a 10 hits you.
No.
Does a 16 hit you?
Also no.
Oh, wow.
I have 18 AC when I'm not in animal form.
Jesus. Okay, so that guy failed. This armor is going to move that far. That's as far as he can go. That one's going to move there, which is as far as he can go. This one is going to go over to here. Don't worry about the armor's on the background layer, because switching layers is silly.
It's just the stands that they were attached to before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now
so
there's
this one-
double the amount of armors. Yay!
So he's going to... This animated arm is going to try and attack Renji twice.
Rude.
Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Does a 19 hit your AC?
It does.
Okay, so this guy clocks you across the face with 6 bludgeoning damage, a metal gauntlet landing square on your cheek.
Ow.
With a thumping, dull pain. And then this one is going to run right up to Hikan and try the same against him. Does a 20 hit your AC, Hikan?
A 20 does.
Okay, so you take 4 bludgeoning damage, and then he's going to try and do it one more time. And 12 doesn't hit your AC.
Correct.
Then there's the one facing off against Max. And does a 22 hit your AC? Yep, so that's 8 bludgeoning damage. He's going to strike at you again. And 9 misses. Then the one against Tyrina, 17, I believe, does hit her AC. It does hit her AC. So she takes 7 bludgeoning damage. And then it's going to strike at her again. But miss with a 10. Okay, then it's back to the top of the order. Flaamgo, seeing enemies around him in all forms, he's going to look down and be, "Ooh, Casses!" And not in a puff of smoke this time. He disappears.
Uh-oh.
Not good.
Okay, and that'll be it for his turn. Max.
I'm going to take bonus action. That's...
Oh, by the way, Hikan, you're no longer confused. Yeah, he broke concentration to cast that spell.
I'm gonna cast...
Oh, yay.
I'm gonna use a careful spell on this one.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna throw my staff, bite into it, and have a lot of blue lightning come out of my mouth when I cast Dragon's Breath.
Okay.
On both of these two. For 14 damage, and Tyrina might have to make a saving throw.
That's okay. If you cast it as careful save, she auto passes it.
Okay.
But she still takes the damage for passing. So she takes a further 7 lightning damage. While the first one's dexterity saving throw, right?
Yes.
Okay.
DC 15.
Okay. So the one closest to you rolls 7 and fails.
Good.
The one next to Tyrina rolls 13 and fails. So they both take the full 14 points of lightning damage.
I'm just gonna stare at the one in front of him and just growl at it.
Yeah. Is that, are you going to move anywhere, or is that it for your turn?
Me then.
Okay. Tyrina on her turn is going to grit her teeth. She's going to bring down her weapon. So she's going to roll it with great ferocity, and she probably wouldn't be able to do that. But misses. It bites a chunk of wood out of the floor.
She does so much damage.
She does. When she can hit.
Well, her minimum is 15.
Yeah, that's for a great weapon mastery thing.
Plus 10 bonus damage.
Yep. But she only gets a +1 to hit. Hikan!
So, getting my bearings and looking around, it's like, oh, when did I get over here? I'm gonna whack the, turn and see the suit of armor, and then, freak out briefly before trying to whack off its head with my quarterstaff. With a 19.
Alright, that 19 hits. So that's
For 7?
Yep. So you kind of hit it, and it does the comical thing where the helmet spins in place before it kind of sets itself somewhat lopsided.
Knowing that punching metal's a bad idea, I'm gonna do it anyway, and I'm gonna spend a key point to do Flurry of Blows.
Nice.
16?
Sadly, that does not hit.
Ooh.
and a natural 1.
Yeah, so you kind of... so you go for the first one. As it stumbles to right its own helmet, it manages to move out of the way of your first strike, and you go in for another one, a full arm outstretched, slam into the chest, but you get it wrong, and there's just this resounding prang as you feel the full effect of punching metal.
With my Trunken technique, I use my free disengage to shake my hand and run between the two that Tyrina and Max are fighting.
Okay. Nice.
And now we have a conga line of death.
Yeah!
Ooh.
Ziden.
Are we in, like, dim light conditions or something?
It is rather dark in here, yes.
Does it need dark vision, is the thing?
Well, it doesn't really have eyes.
No, I mean, as in, do we
has-
need dark vision?
Do you need dark vision?
Could we see
We
without?
we all have dark vision.
Yeah.
My animal forms don't. Well, not all of them.
Well, you just cast Shillelagh on your staff.
Yeah, well, that was just because it was something I could do.
We'll just hit it with your weapon.
Just-
But I want to bite it.
You do. It is.
Hikan just shouts out, "Chewing on metal's bad for your teeth!"
Yeah, you do
Except
get
I
you.
grow new ones.
You do get the idea that because you're currently seeing everything in black and white right now, it's probably too dark for people with normal vision.
Okay, my only dark vision thing is a spider. I don't think the poison matters.
You need blood for that.
Yeah.
I need more dark vision forms. Maybe the giant snakes eventually will. Yeah, I'm gonna smack it with my stick.
Okay.
Or not.
Yeah. You. It's like hitting a keg with a walking stick. It's not you don't seem to get good purchase on the attack, sadly.
Let's see. Movement, move, crawl, improvise, difficult, stand-up times, with magic grapple. Nothing can... I could take an opportunity attack and drag it closer to my allies. I don't know if that's helpful or not. Now I'm gonna stay where I am. And for my bonus action, I shall cast Shillelagh on my quarterstaff.
I thought it just sticks around, doesn't it? Or is
It
that for one
does.
attack only? All right.
It lasts a minute.
Just refresh Shillelagh. Monster Hunter. Why am I not in blue sharpness? What is this green bullshit?
Oh, I haven't even got to blue weapons yet. I'm still in green.
Me neither.
Yeah. So you recast Shillelagh. Are you gonna move, or are you gonna stay where you are for now?
If I move, I get an opportunity attack. And... whatever. You can.
It's like you could make a conga line with Renji.
So if I move, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, yeah. You'd have to vault over the shelves.
Yeah, no.
Bad.
So I could get to like there next to Tyrina and Renji.
Hmm.
Do the shelves count as difficult terrain or what?
I'd say it's like a squeezing thing. So yeah, you'd have to move. It would be half movement to move between the shelves.
So that would be 20 to get there,
Yeah.
and then to get to there.
So that'd be 30 to get to there.
Yeah, that'd be. Oh wait, no, I have 35, don't I? Yes.
I was about to say, I hope you picked a wood elf.
So I shall take an opportunity attack and get to there.
Okay. So as you flee, swings around with his metallic fists and misses.
No.
Okay. You're done? Alright. Renji.
Right. Oh, thank you, Ziden. And I slash at the armor for a dagger attack.
Okay.
Oh, I only have the short sword statted, so it. I'm just going to roll a
It'd be the
1d.
same attack state. Yeah.
So on the 1d4.
So 24 to hit, and damage is...
Oh, darn it, doesn't roll. That is a 5.
5 damage.
Plus sneak attack. Because
Plus sneak attack.
I have advantage.
You have advantage.
So 9.
9 damage. As you dig the blade into the armor and just kind of pry a part of it, so I don't know, if it had feelings, it would probably feel really uncomfortable, but yeah. Yeah, you stab that armor. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
That's my my action. Yeah, it is a shame that I can't use a bonus action to change my weapon. But I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel that my Hexblade's curse is still in effect, so...
Does that tell you where he is?
No, it just tells me if it's dead or not.
Ah.
Sadly. Though, can I, as a bonus action, try and focus on this curse? To see where it is?
Make a perception check with disadvantage.
Perception check with disadvantage. That's a 15.
Okay. You kind of focus slightly, and you feel he's on the west side of the room somewhere. But that's as much as you get.
So, I do like, I do shout out like, he's behind me, somewhere. I don't know.
Okay. Larsen's turn. Larsen's going to run over here. Doesn't know what he can do. He isn't armed.
I'll shout at Larsen, I'm carrying a spare scimitar if you can use it.
He says, that might be helpful. Thank you. What he is going to do, actually, he's going to cast, as a bonus action, he's going to cast Healing Word on, he's going to cast it on Tyrina because he can see Tyrina. Well, he can see Max now, but he could see Tyrina more. So she gets 6 hit points back. And he'll use his action to, if you are willing to give him the scimitar, Ziden, he will take the scimitar, but he won't be able to attack this turn.
Give him my original scimitar, because I randomly have this Sora scimitar now as well.
It's a longsword, though. It's just curved.
Oh, would he prefer the longsword?
He'd probably have to tune to it, but never mind. If you're giving him the scimitar, then he'll take the scimitar for now and discuss it after combat. On the armor's turns, this one is going to run up here. That's as far as it can go. This one's going to run over here and attempt to donkey punch Larsen in the back of the head.
Hey, that's my technique.
Cling, 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 cling. That's a critical hit.
Oh no.
Hits with a 24, and then he does it again. Yeah, so Larsen takes a total of how much? That's
13.
That's 13 damage. As he takes the blade, it's like right and red, bam! As this thing just slams into him, this heap of metal slams into the back of him. He's not looking well. And then the other one that's between. Oh well, let's move the ones that need moving first. This one's going to maneuver around the boxes. Get here and attack Ziden with advantage.
You're stealing our techniques too.
Don't think a 17 hits though.
Denied.
Does 24 though with a critical hit.
Not denied.
You take 9 points of bludgeoning damage as you kind of slide out of the first one, guide it away with your stick, and then as you kind of right yourself to, he just kind of puts all of his weight behind flailing his metal arm at you and catches you in the side. And this one, tonk, 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 is going to go up there, because that's as far as I can go. Then the ones that are already in combat. So, the one between Max and Hikan is going to attack Max with one attack. Guessing a 19.
Ow.
It's for 8 bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
And then it's going to attack Hikan with advantage, because it's flanking with his other buddy. 22 to hit your AC.
Alright.
So that's 6 bludgeoning damage. Oh, I should probably do concentration checks for for Larson, since he was punched twice. So he passes the first one and fails the second one. You are no longer under the effect of heroism, Hikan.
So did that mean that I lose those temporary HP?
Yes.
Alright, cool. I just wanted to make sure that I'm minusing the right amount.
Then the other animated armor between Hikan and Tyrina. One against Hikan. For 20 to hit your AC.
Alright.
So that's 4 bludgeoning damage. And then the other one, normal against Tyrina. 10 does not hit. And I think the only one left is the one between Renji and Ziden, who will do one attack against each of you. This one against Renji with a miss.
No.
no.
And the other one against Ziden with advantage, because he's flanking with his buddy. 23 versus your AC.
Wow,
That's
I'm going to have to be a bear.
6 bludgeoning damage. Okay. Then at the end of this turn, let's see. I'm going to roll something to see how our invisible wizard friend decides to assess the situation. He's thinking that it's... Well, I can't say what he's thinking, because he's invisible. But what you see, Renji, as you kind of turn briefly to look where you're focusing in about this square here...
that square there, yes.
You see a ethereal door appear. It then opens, closes again, then disappears. And your focus on the guy has vanished.
As in my focus? As in...
Yeah, so you don't sense him in the building anymore.
Ah. Right. Okay.
And then, Max, your go.
Okay. Things making me real mad, but... Well, I can't get disadvantage on a spell that can't miss. So I'm just gonna magic missile this stupid piece of junk for 11 force damage.
Okay. Nice. So the missiles slam into it. It's still barely standing, but you can see where all the attack, like the lightning burns, the dents from the force, and the attacks from your comrades. This thing is barely able to keep itself in a single cohesive piece. Anything you want to do as a bonus action? Or did I ping again?
No.
Gonna use my bonus action to cast Dragon's Breath again, but store it.
Okay.
Because casting it is bonus action, then releasing it is an action.
I see. Okay. On Tyrina's go, she's going to snarl out a prayer to Etheria, bring the axe up, and hits this motherfucker for 19 damage, clefting it in twain.
Huzzah!
Actually, no, 17 damage because it's not undead.
It's still cleft?
Is it not cleft in twain now?
It is not cleft in twain,
What?
but it's like the other one across from it. It is barely standing.
I wonder how many hit points it has now.
1 or 2. Take your pick.
Indeed.
Hikan's got 2 easy kills right now.
Yeah. Hikan.
Gonna swing my quarterstaff at the one against Max
Okay.
for a 24 for 11.
You pin it against the wall and the chest plate buckles, and then as it kind of loses the magic that's within it, it just falls into pieces.
Alrighty, and then an unarmed strike on the one against Tyrina
Okay.
for a 22.
Same as the first. You just kind of and
Then,
where you work the staff into where the hole that the axe is made and just twist, and it wrenches the metal, and it just collapses in a pool of metallic pieces and armor on the floor.
I forgot to declare flurry of blows before I did that. Oh well. I will move over to the one that's next to... I'm pretty much going to surround this guy.
Okay.
And since I didn't declare that, that's my turn.
Okay. Ziden.
What happens if I turn into a large creature in this sort of situation?
The other creatures get shunted, and I'll make them roll something to whether or not they fall prone.
Okay. So my intention would be to turn into a bear, taking up these spaces because I have light coming from this doorway.
Okay. Feel free to. So I'll move him over there. And I'll roll a thing for him to see. I'll make him roll a dexterity saving throw to see if that does... No, he's on his ass. He rolled 9.
Okay. In which case, he's on his arse. I have automatic advantage on attacks.
Yep.
Yay!
And there's enough light so that the darkness doesn't affect you, so you're okay.
At least for these ones. I don't think I can deal with the rest if I move away from this spot.
Yeah.
But I'll go for the one on his arse. Go... plus advantage. Bump, bump.
Okay. So the 23 hits for 7 damage, but the 11 for 12 does not.
Wow, a 3 and a 6. Oh, that's bonus action. I'm not moving anywhere, so yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Renji.
You said it was a bad idea to bite them.
I've sabotaged myself with the dagger. I'm just going to stab again. Or no, I'm not going to do that. I am going to make a ringing sound appear right in front of me where this armor is.
Okay.
And I'm going to Toll the Dead, and it is already injured, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Toll the Dead, it is a wisdom saving throw. Yeah.
Okay, got a -1.
Wow.
Oh, mine
That's
is
on a
4.
3.
I technically rolled a 3 with a 1d12, but I rolled a 6 with a 1d8. Ah.
Told That Dead does that to you a lot.
Yeah. That sucks.
It would have been a much more powerful spell if it was an additional die of damage as opposed to just changing the size of the die when you use it.
Yeah, exactly.
So on Larson's turn, he's going to use his action. Does he have any other healing spell other than... He has Prayer of Healing, but that's 10 minutes. So he's going to use... He's in a bad way, so he's going to use Healing Word on himself as a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
And heals himself 5 hit points. Psychs himself up. And then he's going to raise a scimitar, and he's going to attack the guy in front of him. I don't have it on his sheet, so I'll just roll it manually. 20 plus...
So
A scimitar's a martial weapon, isn't it?
Yes?
Okay.
maybe?
So he doesn't. It's he can use his strength with it. That's good. He does not roll high enough in order to hit it with a 16. He brings the sword down. It strikes against the.
He has advantage.
The armor. Oh, he does have advantage, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He got this 22. He hits this time.
Huzzah!
4. Is it 1d6 or 2d4? I can never remember the
D6.
scimitars.
D6.
D6. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think there are weapons that do 2d4.
I think it was 4e falchions that did that for some reason.
Yeah, probably.
So it deals 7 damage as the blade strikes against it. And then that's his turn. That's the armor's goes. This one's immediately going to run over and engage with Tyrina. And do 2 slam attacks against it. So that's 17, which is enough to hit for 8 damage. Just runs up and sucker punches Tyrina. And then goes in for another swing. And gets another 8 damage. Jesus Christ. They're rolling like fire on their damage. That's the maximum damage both times.
Good.
It's not good. So there's kind of crack, crack. You can see this animated armor almost Dempsey rolls as it just kind of just 1, 2 full body weight strikes. You see blood dripping from Tyrina's nose as she kind of snarls at this thing. Then we'll do the one who's in much, much trouble. It's going to throw a punch at Renji, and then it's going to throw a punch at the bear. So, versus Renji. 12 does not hit. Stop with the maximum damage,
What? No, 12
armors. Does a 12 hit Renji?
No.
Well, I thought you said the second one was at me.
Oh, no, that's the first one. That was the first attack, because the previous 2 were against Tyrina. The other one is going to go against the bear. So this one goes against the bear. There we go. So that's a 12 to hit, and it's 5 bludgeoning damage. It just wheels over and just brings the hand down. Then this one is going to run over here, and it's going to make 2 attacks against the bear, because it's the only thing it can attack. It's 24 hit for 8 bludgeoning damage, and it goes in for its second strike for 23 to hit for 3 bludgeoning damage. And then the other one next to it is going to stand up and continue along with its ally friend. 23 to hit for 7. And then 23 to hit for 6.
That's a lot of
There goes my
23.
bear health. That's fine.
Oh my, this is so. This is the. Oh wow.
I'm a HP tank.
You're a HP tank, yeah. And then this one against Larson is going to double attack it with advantage because it has an ally flanking. So 9 does not hit. And a 7 does not hit. Larson, with his 10 AC, because he didn't bring his plate mail, is safe. Okay. Flaamgo is nowhere to be seen. Max.
With the lightning basically making his entire head glow from the inside out so you can see his skull. Gonna walk over to this one
Yeah.
and focus the entirety of his dragon's breath on this one guy.
Okay. It's a
Oh, no,
line,
I-
right?
No.
Oh, it's a cone.
So... Blam.
Blam. Okay. I'm just
Not
going to
sure
roll
how wide
something
it
really
goes.
quickly. Okay, yeah. So, luckily, the singeing lightning does not set the shelves on fire. At least not yet.
Good thing I didn't use fire breath.
Yeah. But it's going to try and make its dex save. And rolls a 3, so it gets itself 9 lightning damage. Okay. Anything else you want to do?
That's all I can do right now.
Okay. Tyrina on her go is going to assess the situation, utilize all of her movement to get behind it, like shoves it to one side, squeezes behind it, to wheels around, Let's see. That's Larson's character sheet. I don't want that one. I want Tyrina's. There we go. She's going to Great Weapon Strike against it. 19, which is a hit. And she's going to expend one of her spell slots to Divine Smite it. For an extra 11. So that is a total of 26 damage. Which is, this time, enough to actually cleft it in twain.
Huzzah!
Okay, and that'll be her go. Hikan.
Alrighty, let's whack this thing with my stick. 23 for 9, or 25 for 9, sorry.
That works. So that's 9 bludgeoning damage.
Is it looking pretty beat up?
Is looking very beat up. A lot of the metal plates aren't able to stay in one spot.
I'll go ahead and use a key point to do Flurry of Blows again.
Okay.
Natural 20 for 7.
That's enough to destroy it.
And then I will go ahead and utilize my movement to get to the one behind Larson.
Mm-hmm.
And use my other unarmed strike for a 22 for 7.
Okay. That is 7 damage. You've got the technique down now for punching plate mail, and you're managing to land blows that deal structural damage as well as not break your hands.
I'm aiming for the joints.
Yeah. Ziden.
I shall revert from a beast into a man here.
Okay.
No opportunity attacks for you, haha!
Mm-hmm.
That's my bonus action.
Yep.
I will use a move action to take a single step back, no flanking for you.
Okay.
And then I shall touch Larson Greaves with Barkskin.
Ah. AC can't be less than 16 regardless of what kind of armor it is. Ah, awesome.
And I'll give
Sweet.
him a thumbs up.
He's kind of breathing out. He offers a thumbs up behind him as well. Excellent. Sweet. So, Renji.
Right. Seeing Ziden turn back into himself. Like, oh, alright. Renji is going to move over here.
Mm-hmm.
And is going to try and stab again with his dagger as best he can. Just going to. That's a 10. No, that's 24. That's because
of flanking, yeah.
Flanking, and it is a 4 plus 4 is 8 damage, and sneak attack is. So it's 10 damage, 8 normal, and 2 sneaky.
Ah. Sweet. That's nice. So that would be... Yeah. Awesome. Sweet. Nice work. You managed to cut a gash into the side of the armor. Larson's go. He's going to... he's going to return the favor, Ziden.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to cast Healing Word on you as his bonus action.
Oh my god, hell.
For 8 hit points. And then he's going to strike at the armor with advantage. So I could probably format this better. 2d20, drop 1 plus 4. And he rolls a 10. So he swings wide and misses the armor almost entirely. That's the animated armors goes. They're both going to tromp up. The top one is going to attack Ziden without advantage. So the first attack, 12 doesn't hit. Second one, 22 for 5 bludgeoning damage. And the one below it is going to attack Larson. Rolls a 21 to hit. Well, technically it's flanking now that he's got a line through there. So that's 4 bludgeoning damage. And then he's going to attack again. Same target. 20 for 6. You can see the metallic fist just breaking off bits of this bark armor. And Larson cries out in pain, but then grits his teeth and glares daggers at the animated armor in front of it. Max, it's your go.
Because he's in snarling rage mode right now. He's not going to really think straight about, standing back and shooting things. He's just going to run up to this thing and shock and grasp it.
Okay.
It's advantage because it's metal, so 29 for 1 damage. 25 for 1 damage, sorry.
It's 1 damage, yep. And can't take reactions. But you kind of run up and grab hold of it, and you can see the lightning just spilling out of your fingers and into this thing. The nice kind of paintings on the armor itself to give it a good coloration just kind of splitting away. Okay. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
I think that's all I can do.
Okay. And then Tyrina's go. She's going to use all of her movement to squeeze in through there. And once again, remarkably agitated by these walking hunks of metal, is going to bring down the axe. Fuck!
She brings it down.
Wow.
She brings it down for maximum possible damage on a normal strike. 26 slashing damage from the axe. Crumples this thing.
How does she want to do this?
How does she want to do this? I think she just kind of like forces her way through the shelves, brings everything down, and in one like kind of wood chopping motion, just metal pieces everywhere. But yeah, this thing's going. You can't.
Okay then, and I run over to the one that's in front of Ziden.
Okay.
You mean around it? To its back?
Good point.
You're a monk, that'll be easy.
The boxes
That
aren't
is
too tall. You could
perfect.
probably, if
No.
anything, you could acrobatics over, but it is a perfect movement. You can just
Yeah.
run around.
No need to make needless checks.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and then I'm going to beat it with my stick. 26 for 8.
That is a hit. Deals
Using my
8
last
damage.
key point for unarmed strikes. 2 flurry of blows. 24 for 9.
That's a hit.
And if it's still up, I'll go ahead and hit that one again.
It is indeed up.
25 for 7 more.
That takes it down.
Okay.
Okay. And with that, it is Ziden's go.
I shall cast a first level healing word on Larson.
Okay.
6.
He's very thankful.
Then I'll move over here and back it with my stick.
Okay.
For 8.
Clunk.
Clonk. And done.
Yeah. Okay, so it takes 8 damage. Sweet. So you dent the side of its helmet. And Renji.
I step onto the discarded remains of the armor, and with Ziden and all of us around, I just stab again.
Okay.
It's a true Twilight Dagger. 21 for 7 damage, plus sneak attack is 13. 7
Nice.
Piercing damage, and 6 sneaky damage.
Very nice. Just thrust forward, get it under a nice bit of the joint, and then just pop something off. Just tearing this thing to pieces. Larson on his turn is going to use his last first level spell to... Actually, what can he do on this one? Bull Strain, Carry Pass... he's going to... Yeah, he's going to use his last first level spell slot in order to cast Healing Word on Tyrina, since she's kind of coated in blood and not doing particularly well. For 8 hit points. And then he's going to run over and just utterly surround this thing and go for another strike. +4. 21 to hit, which hits. And then he rolls 1d6 +4. 8 damage. Significant amount, but not enough to kill it. And the animated armor's turn. It's kind of flush for targets at this point. Let's see. He's going to go against the last 2 people. Actually, he's going to go against the last person who attacked him and the one who dealt the most damage to him. So he's going to go... one attack against Larson, which doesn't have advantage, but still gets a 23 and hits him for 8 anyway, which... You kind of see, like, the fist lean forward just after Larson's made his downward strike, and his face is right in the perfect position. You see the fist make contact, and you hear a sickening crack. Larson kind of staggers back. Blood gushes from his nose. You feel that the armor might have broken it. And then he's going to go for this thing's going to go for a strike against Hikan. But misses, sadly. And then that's it for that one's go. Max.
Max is gonna basically create the magic missile darts, bring them around his fist, and then punch them into its face. For
Like
7
a
force damage.
badass.
Is there any way you'd like to embellish it when you tell us how you want to do this?
I mean, that's pretty much it, really.
Yeah.
They're just swirling around his hand as he just slams straight into its helmet and just obliterates it.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, you watch as the last, seemingly last bit of armor clatters to the ground. You can hear over the from now that the ambience of battle has kind of ceased away. You can now hear the ambience of animals everywhere being remarkably just agitated. Cries and hisses and clucks and screams from different boxes in different places.
Oh god, and I can understand it all.
Yeah, they're not having a good time. There are a couple that you can't understand. You could probably imagine that either it's the cuckoos or the Kargoroks that are just kind of... And it's just noise. It is just generic animal noise, but it's not speech to you, sadly.
I'm gonna give Lawson 10 good berries.
He takes and eats... He eats 3 of them, and then because of the stacking nourishing effect, it's just like, I'm full, I can't eat anymore.
That's fair. It gives him some more health.
Yeah. But he kind of just slumps to the ground. He passes you the scimitar back as he kind of holds his head back just to stop the blood from flowing.
That's actually a bad thing to do. If you sit there and cough for whatever reason, you could risk drowning yourself.
Okay, grand. Thank you.
Does anybody have something cold? Hikan says as he gets like some of the cloths from his healer's kit, like cold water or anything. I've dealt with bloody noses a lot.
Terry
I can hold on. Renji
So I
will
use my water
take,
skin and wet one of the rags.
I'll take the rag, and in my hand it slowly cools down to about barely above freezing temperature.
Put that on the back of his neck, and it should help quell the bleeding.
And I do so. You okay, Lawson?
Well, I've been better.
Naturally. Yes?
I knew I should have come to this thing armed. Ugh.
How did you connect this place to the Whitestone incident?
Rodney had been getting a lot of illicit substances. It might have been what led him to his madness and eventual suicide. One of the places that he mentions in his own diaries is a mysterious supplier of bizarre animals, run by an odd fellow. And as he says that, he kind of looks around and then realizes, and it kind of says, he's not here, is he?
No, there was some sort of magical doorway that I noticed, but I didn't see anything. In particular, just felt the absence of this Flaamgo person. Don't ask me how it works. I barely understand it.
I'm gonna light Sunrod whilst we're here.
Okay.
For some light.
Max is backed up from everyone else, kicked some discarded pieces of armor out the way, and is just sat down with his back to the wall, clenching and unclenching his fists along with his deep breaths.
Tyrina kind of hobbles over. She then slumps against the wall, puts a hand on your shoulder,
He
heals
immediately
you.
jerks away from it.
Yeah, he
But
says,
probably catches the healing magic.
Yeah. Though she kind of just hovers a hand there. So, hey, you sure? I mean, I've got some to spare.
If anything, I should be helping you. I did hit you earlier.
It's fine. And if she's able to, if she makes physical contact with you, she heals you for 8 hit points.
Okay.
And then she heals herself for 7.
Just grumbles something
uses
that
it.
sounds like thanks.
Hikan uses his staff and starts knocking on the big crate to see if something's inside.
Okay, so clonk, clonk, clonk. And the response is,
I think I found the Kargarok.
Did I understand the Bagaha?
nope.
It's the Gargarok.
I go and I do the same to all the big crates.
Okay, so when you do it to this one, there's a from it, which from Ziden's perspective is like, intruder, go away!
I say hi to the snake.
There's a kind of calm sort of,
What did you say?
who?
My name is Ziden. It is a pleasure to meet you.
It doesn't really say much after that. It seems to go quiet. And knocking on that one, clonk, 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 the last one, last big one. You don't hear much. In fact, you don't hear anything at all. Ziden, you hear a muffled
Intruder.
A muffled intruder.
Yes.
Is there like any hole that we can see inside of these with?
There are holes, but the boxes are rather tall. You probably need to pull yourself up to view into it.
I shall carefully arrange the sunrod and pull up and look inside this one.
I lace my fingers so that way he has a foothold if as soon as I see him trying to climb up.
Yeah, if that becomes necessary, and you lift him up, and inside you see a giant scorpion.
I say hello, my name is Ziden.
And it's like, to Hikan, who's now probably got like a fully pressed up against it, you can hear like this rapid kind of clicking, this aggressive clicking. And Ziden, you can see as it kind of latches onto where the noise is coming from and sees you in the hole, it just kind of backs up against the corner and the tail is shaking.
Fear shaking or angry shaking?
Angry shaking.
Did we find
A combination of both.
Did we find a pet for Lord Rickshaw?
If you can think of a way to transport this box.
You can get a cart.
Ziden, you also heard sounds coming from this box
Ooh.
and this box.
I'll look in this box then.
Okay.
Hi, Larson.
The box.
Look at this box.
Larson kind of nods. He kind of pushes himself up and then trudges over to a wall and slides back to the floor.
Three amigos over here.
You look inside the top box. You find, looking through the hole, you find what appears to be a smaller snake. It's about 6 foot long, and it's black with orange spots running down the back of it.
Ooh, fancy. Will I recognize that as anything special?
Well, you know that it's definitely poisonous. It is a giant poisonous rope.
Oh, okay. I say hello.
It does pretty much say it's basically been trapped in a box for a while. You don't need an insight check. You know that these animals have been trapped in boxes for a while. Then suddenly there's loud noises outside, and the air smells faintly of ozone, and it's just. They're not having a good time. They're all thoroughly spooked.
I'll let him know the situation is dealt with, and we will shall help them very soon. Then I guess I'll check the final box over this big one.
Okay. So you check that final box. Do you knock on it? Do you just say hi, or?
I'll say hello.
You say hello. Okay, at which point the response that all of you can understand is, "Who are you?"
My name's Ziden. It's a pleasure to meet you.
That is not an animal.
Gonna stand up.
Get me out of this box!
Renji will transform his dagger into a much sleeker, longer blade, a rapier.
Okay.
Hikan, give me a lift up so that I can look inside.
Oh, okay.
I shall look inside the box and see.
Okay.
Who's
As you look inside the box, you see one big yellow eye with cat's-like eye, and it kind of leans back, and you see a big red mane, white horns,
I see.
big muscular physique, and he just says, "Let me out."
What? If we let you out, will you hurt us?
Is that idiot mage still here?
He's gone.
No.
Is there a key on these boxes or what?
Make an investigation check.
19.
It appears these boxes were made with the intention of being opened via crowbar and not a traditional lock.
Ah, a crowbar. Okay. What's people's thoughts? I assume we'll let him out.
Doesn't sound like a good idea.
Do we all know what it is?
Only Ziden has seen it.
I'll let them know what it is. The name of it escapes me.
Or Linux?
Linux, was that it?
Lionel.
Lionel. Linux is an operating system.
Aren't those the things that very much everyone is terrified of because they're so badass?
Somewhat, yes.
Make history or nature checks, whichever's better for you.
They're both the same. 10.
Could I do a survival check being an outlander?
Sure. Go for
I
it.
was thinking, can I do a survival check to know whether or not this will kill me?
Pretty much.
Okay. 14s and 15s are good enough. I'll roll for Sho when he
Just for
joins the
show.
scene. Just for show. Okay, he rolled a natural 1. My metal dice is not working particularly well today.
Can Larson also roll?
Larson can roll, sure. Though he doesn't really have that grand of an intelligence thing.
Neither do like 3 of us. Is that stop
Do we
us
do?
from rolling?
He does get a 12 though.
There's a reason why I asked to do survival instead.
Yeah. The 14s and 15s are good enough. Lionels are problematic. No one knows, they are always usually by themselves. No one knows what they want. No one really knows why they do what they do. While the Dark Nuts are typically favored as considered the greatest swordsman in all of Hyrule, for all-around warriorness, next to nothing beats a Lionel. There's been debate as to whether or not they count as a monster or if they count as a person. It's weird. Very few people have seen Lionels, let alone fought one and survived. And they're generally seen as aggressive. I mean, they are capable of understanding situations for the sake of their own survival and making deals and stuff, but they're typically considered aggressive, arrogant, and aloof.
The question I would ask if I had rolled good would be, would it be wise to let one out near Hyrule Castle? Because we're not that far away.
Yeah.
I think it would. I think that it would want to keep itself safe, and attacking a castle like that isn't safe.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they're aggressive, but they're not going to go and take on a colossal metropolis by themselves. Because the one thing that really kind of strikes you is that it's very unlikely, next to impossible, in fact, for a Lionel to work with another Lionel. They usually operate by themselves.
So I'm just going to step out the way of the door in case these guys do let it out, because I don't want to be in his way.
Okay. Darian's gonna
I do
stand
not
here,
have a
axe
crowbar.
drawn.
Could my shillelagh enchanted quarterstaff work?
Sure, make a strength check.
Can I make it a wisdom check because it is a shillelagh?
That is what the spell does.
It is what
I
the
mean,
spell does.
I could use the quarterstaff as well, so you could do it being aided.
Okay, so with the shillelagh, yeah, go for wisdom, but for a regular quarterstaff, it will have to be strength.
I get a 19.
Okay.
And a 6 for that whopping assist there. That A+.
Okay, so you both kind of find optimal places to put the staves. You pull down, you do basic checks and everything, like you use lever and fulcrum, that sort of thing. And while Hikan, you don't really get anywhere, there's a crack in the wood. From Ziden's perspective. And when that one crack is made, there is a kind of a small hum, which dies away. And
I jump out the way.
yeah, moments later, a big furry fist punches through the wood, grabs onto it and just tears it away, and stepping forth, this colossal Lionel just steps forward and looks at either of you.
I nod politely.
I wave.
Looking around, is there another way out that isn't this tiny door?
He'll make a way.
It doesn't appear to be. He as he says that, he gives a brief nod to you, Ziden, steps out, and then tromps past you as best he can.
Ziden will get out the way.
He pushes over a couple of shelves, grabs the clearly oversized weaponry that is on the table here at the bottom of the map. Hefts up a shield, a sword, straps a bow to its back, and then without word tromps forward, pushing over more shelves as he goes, and just...
Can I ask his name before he leaves? See if he responds.
He stops and turns. Make a... Yeah, this is the type of creature that you'd need to. Make a persuasion check. Just for asking his name.
Go.
Your +1 persuasion.
7.
Does he get advantage for letting it out?
Give me a sec. I need to roll his arrogance die.
I could have a 14 if there's advantage for freeing him.
He kind of looks over to you. Just he kind of like exhales sharply through his nostrils, and then turns and continues on.
Oh.
And there's another as he breaks through the door out of the shop.
Well, that is the last we'll see of.
Guess so.
We can hope.
Did you guys want to do some last bits of admin in this place before we end for the night? Because we've gone on for quite a while.
Probably like investigate the place.
See if there's anything we can steal. I mean,
okay.
And anything
redistribute.
that Larson could use as well.
Yeah.
Because he's investigating.
Okay, so roll investigations.
Well, there's this
Investigation.
I definitely can't see.
Roll
9.
9.
There's a Ziden where
Holy
you
shit!
are.
Okay.
There's a series of steps
7.
going up that way, up to a door
Guess.
to a separate room.
I am literally the worst at investigation, guys. Come on.
So I will open this door if I can get the right thing. There we go.
We need Sho to roll because he actually has intelligence.
Yeah.
I'll just shout up, I found a room up here.
Tyrina's going to go looking for Sho.
It's a table full of stuff. And,
Okay.
I'm gonna, before I go through the table of stuff, I'm just gonna take this statue and lay it on just on the ground.
Yep. Yeah, this one's not animated. It just kind of just falls apart. Okay, so let's have a look.
Take its arms off and throw them out into the other room.
So with a 9, a 9, a 6, and a 16, with the 9s and 6s, it looks like a fairly basic warehouse. Like, not all the stuff here has anything to do with pets. It looks like a general store now when you think about it, but there are still a bunch of animals around. In fact, those 4 crates with the 1 poisonous snake, the 1 constrictor, the scorpion, and the Kargarok, including the 2 cuckoos out front, that's the grand total of animals that are here. Looking on the desk, Hikan, since you got the 16, I say you found, while everyone was kind of looking around, Ziden, you found the desk and you looked through it. You couldn't really find anything that would be worthwhile or anything that would be of use to Larson, or at least you don't believe so. So you turn and let everybody know that there's a desk up here. Hikan, as you come up, you find 2 things of note. One appears to be a series of documents which detail in very basic terms that Flaamgo was apparently working for some kind of organization, but the name of the organization and the details of it are not in the documents. Additionally, the animals, as well as a variety of supplies, including some magical supplies for the purposes of trapping a Lionel, came from somewhere in the port town of Sarkosa, which is way northwest from where you currently are. And you also find a book. And specifically, because it is you, I would like you to roll a history check for me with advantage.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
With advantage, that is a 15.
You have found what appears to be a book, while fraying somewhat, is bound in a green, hardback leather cover. The front of the book has some mysterious symbols over a hollow picture of the Triforce. It takes you a moment, but you recognize this, to much to your own amazement, as the Book of Medora.
Hikan says nothing.
Okay.
He grabs the documents and the book, and as he's walking out of the room, he will make a sleight of hand check to pocket the book.
Okay.
With a 17.
17.
14 here.
Okay. That's
Okay.
it.
Oh, Renji sees you take the book.
Okay. So you guys return, and we'll cover the rest of this when we get to the other side. What we'll say is that, in regards to Sho and why he didn't just burst in the middle of a rather loud fight, is Tyrina found him paralyzed as if under the effects of a hold person spell, and manages to shake him out of it.
So that's where the wizard went.
Yeah.
The things that happen in Canada.
Because it's like after...
Is there something in that section?
No. It was just... this just a blank space.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, we shall leave it there, and we will catch up everything at the start of next session. Thank you guys for watching us, or listening to us. Not so much watching us, because the live stream kind of died. Thank you, OBS. I have been your game master, ArticulateT, and joining me today, I have had Alvarance playing Hikan Sio.
It's the thing I asked for!
I have had TheNetherlad playing Renji Vox.
I know what you did last session.
I have had Robopilot playing Ziden Shari.
Goodbye.
And I have had Keastreth playing Max.
I did a lot of lightning today.
And we will see you guys next time, hopefully with a full party. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
You have been listening to Hyrule Chronicles, a tale in the world of Legend of Zelda using 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. I have been the GM, ArticulateT. Thank you very much for joining us. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a comment and share this link with everybody that you can possibly find who might enjoy Zelda or Dungeons & Dragons, or both, or neither, if you want to. If you want to be up to date on these uploads, feel free to follow me at ArticulateT on Twitter, and I'm also on YouTube under the same name. But in the meantime, thank you very much for joining us, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.